Story of Jeffy. Well, in this video, I'm gonna go over all the details of Jeffy's childhood until his first appearance in SML, and later I'll talk about some things you might not have known about Jeffy. But before I continue with this theory, I wanted to give a shout out to user-PF8TW4GH9S for showing support for the Story of Brooklyn guy and wanting another story of another character. And I know that's not your channel's name, but I'm gonna link you down in the comments, so go show him some love. Jeffy is the son of Nancy and his father Jacques-Pierre Francois, and he's of French-American descent, it seems. Maybe Nancy is French, but it seems to be she's more American, and Jeffy did grow up in America. However, Jeffy didn't really have a great bond with his dad, as he was abandoned alongside his mom and sister, but he still did make sure to include both Jeffy and Jeffy's twin sister Phoebe in his will, just in case.
He leaves behind his $1 million fortune to his only son, who is unknown at this time.
And Jeffy was born on August 21st, 2004 in a porta potty and raised in poverty after his dad left him. And he never attended school due to his mom's irresponsibility and his father not being a part of his life, which could be the reason why in SML movie Jeffy's Homework, Marvin and Rose were having such a hard time teaching him multiple subjects while being homeschooled.
Alright, Jeffy, say your ABCs, okay?
Okay. ZYXW.
2 plus 2. What is 2 plus 2, Jeffy?
74.
74.
But at the same time, he was able to make his own math law called Jeffy's Law of Subtraction, which later started to be taught in schools as seen in an SML movie Jeffy Gets Bullied. So maybe Jeffy never needed school. All he needed was for his parents to actually care about him and his education. But while at the care of Nancy, there was an incident that happened that seems to have traumatized Jeffy for the rest of his life. The year before Nancy abandoned Jeffy at the apartment complex, Jeffy and Phoebe wanted to learn how to ride bikes. But Nancy refused and told them to teach each other. But before they left, Nancy demanded to use Phoebe's helmet as an ashtray.
I was wondering if you could teach me and Phoebe how to ride a bike.
Well, teach you how to ride a bike.
Come on, Phoebe.
Hey, Phoebe! Phoebe, give me your helmet. Mommy needs an ashtray.
Okay.
And when the two went outside, Jeffy was unsure about riding bikes because Phoebe didn't have her helmet anymore. However, they didn't let that stop them from continuing, and Phoebe got on the bike, but since they didn't know how to ride, Jeffy pushed her down the street and let go of the bike. But obviously, she didn't know how to stop the bike, and she went out onto a road and was hit by a truck. And Jeffy then goes up to her and see if she's okay, but after not responding, he screams and runs for Nancy.
Phoebe! No! Stop! Phoebe! Phoebe, are you okay? Phoebe! Wake up, Phoebe! Talk to me! Mommy!
And this incident traumatized Jeffy and is the reason why he always wears his helmet, even when he's not riding a bike. But for the following years, Jeffy continued to dream about Phoebe still being alive, as seen in SML movie Jeffy's Sister, and another dream in SML movie Jeffy's Sister Returns. And Mario decided to get a doctor to check up on Jeffy, and he thought that Phoebe was in Jeffy's imagination, but that's when Jeffy tells the story of what happened to her, and that's when we realize how bad of a childhood Jeffy had growing up.
I think it's like hallucinations or something.
I mean, you know he does have a sister, right?
He does?
Well, I mean, he did, yeah.
He did? Well, what happened to your sister, Jeffy? What's going on?
I really don't want to talk about it. Hey, Jeffy, tell him what happened to your sister.
Alright, Daddy, I'll tell you.
But after his sister's death, it seemed like Nancy had enough of Jeffy and she dropped him off at the apartment complex Bowser and Mario lived in. And after walking around in the apartment complex, he ends up knocking on one of the apartment doors and is greeted by Mario. And this is the video Mario the Babysitter, where after having a dream of being a superhero, he's greeted at the door by a kid with a blue helmet and the name Jeffy on his shirt, and even a diaper on the outside of his pants. And Mario sees a sticky note on Jeffy's shoulder that says to babysit him. And Jeffy says that his mom dropped him off and then tries to put the pencil in his nose.
Hello?
Hey, you want to see my pencil?
What, who are you? What are you doing here?
My name is Jeffy. See, it says it on my shirt. Jeffy.
Jeffy, yeah. What are you doing? What does that sticky note say?
Oh, it says I'm a good boy.
Please babysit.
And when Marvin says that he was a bad boy for trying to put the pencil in his nose, Jeffy just starts screaming and slamming his head on the doorway.
You said Jeffy's a bad boy?
No.
But Mario then lets Jeffy in the apartment and offered him Scooby-Doo gummies, and in the apartment, Mario gets to know Jeffy better and how he acts. However, it turned out that everything that happened was a dream, but then there's a knock at the door, and once again he's greeted by Jeffy.
Hello?
Hey, you wanna see my pencil? You wanna see it?
So I'm assuming what happened in the dream is canon and it just happened after the dream, so technically twice. And so Mario had to keep Jeffy because that's what Brooklyn Guy said. And it wasn't until a year later in SML movie Jeffy's Parents that Mario finally got an update on the person who might have dropped off Jeffy at the apartment complex. And Mario gets so excited immediately and he asks to send her to his house. But it turns out that Jeffy's mom wasn't a great fit for Jeffy. And she later gets arrested after Brooklyn Guy, or really Does Bad Things Guy, sees that he was hitting Jeffy plus some other charges. Afterwards, Mario gets the choice to either send Jeffy to foster care or adopt him, and he first considers to send Jeffy into foster care, but after learning that it wouldn't be the best fit for Jeffy, he decides to adopt him.
I guess I'll
I'm sorry, what? Did you say something there?
I'll adopt him.
I cannot understand a word you're saying.
I guess I'll adopt him.
You're gonna adopt him. Okay, great.
And Brooklyn Guy then gives Mario a ripped piece of paper that he found in Nancy's purse. And Mario realizes that he has the other piece to it. And the note was from Jacques-Pierre Francois. And they find out that he was Jeffy's father. And Mario thinks that Jeffy can go live with him, but Brooklyn Guy reminds him of his death and how he left all his money. But Jeffy won't actually get it till he's 18. But Jeffy never really ended up getting the money, as it turned out that Jacques-Pierre Francois was alive this whole time, and he faked his death to make his paintings worth more.
Well, what about your son? He was supposed to inherit your multi-million-dollar fortune.
Ah, yes, the boy. I will now celebrate my millions by eating one of your American hamburgers from the McDonald's King.
But as of today, Jeffy is still with Marvin and Rose, and he usually hangs out with Junior and his friends, and he continues to cause chaos, which kids do, but come on, Jeffy, you gotta stop that. You gotta stop it right now.
Daddy, look at me! Look at me, Daddy!
But now that we've talked a lot about Jeffy's story, what about his actual history in real life? Like for the fact that he was originally going to be named Doofy, but they already had a character named Doofy, so they ended up naming him Jeffy. And he was also originally going to be played by Poobie, but due to him playing Brooklyn Guy, he couldn't play Jeffy since it would be hard for him to play two characters in one scene. And also, Jeffy originated from a character that Logan made from an animation during his high school years, which can briefly be seen in an SLL update video from 2012. And in the video, it was revealed that the animation was intended to be part of an animated series that Logan planned at the time, where Logan would use his own original characters, and the character would have been around 6 years old according to the update and was unnamed at the time but was considering the name Ricky. Also, in a vlog titled Irreplaceable Puppets, Logan says whenever Jeffy is not in use, he's locked in a safe because the current Jeffy doesn't have a good stunt double for replacement, and apparently it's impossible to replicate a Jeffy puppet that looks 100% accurate to the main Jeffy.
Jeffy is number one most irreplaceable because no matter, even from the original person who helped me create the Jeffy puppet, she couldn't even replicate Jeffy to the perfect detail. Like she still sells her version of the Jeffy, and then we sell our version of Jeffy on smlmerch.com. But there's just no one that can mimic and make exactly to the stitch of the original Jeffy. And so, and he's getting old. Like you can tell he's getting worn out. And we really don't know.
Of course, there are some good alternatives like the one in the SML shop or the one that's made by the actual original maker, but to get it actually the exact same, you'd have to go through years of use just to wear down the puppet, and you can never really get it the exact same since they're handmade, and the fans obviously would be upset if Jeffy looked different. But there are a lot of cool facts about Jeffy, but there are also some controversial stuff about Jeffy. A primary example of this is an SML movie, Jeffy's Tantrum, where Jeffy didn't get the game he wanted from the App Store and he becomes depressed. But before anything happens, Junior shows up and offers him a $10 iTunes gift card so that Jeffy can use it to buy the app he wanted, and Jeffy becomes happy and doesn't do anything bad. But because of SML's younger audience, a kid took this seriously, and on December 12, 2017, The Sun reported that a 7-year-old tried to reattempt what Jeffy did in the video, and instead of putting blame on the parents for not watching her kid or for not parenting her kid to know what is right and wrong, they chose chose to blame Logan and said that the video taught the kid how to do what Jeffy did in the video, which isn't true. Of course it was shown, but not to that extent. And obviously I think those jokes shouldn't be joked about. It still did happen, and I think that it's the parents' fault, and Logan should obviously know now that that stuff can have effects. But even though Logan apologized about the situation and probably would never do it again, YouTube started demonetizing and age restricting all of Logan's videos, even the ones without inappropriate content. It even got to the point where they eventually demonetized Logan's entire channel, which stopped Logan from making money from his past videos. And it seems to be that Logan is making slightly better decisions with SML. As I don't know if y'all have noticed, even though swearing is still used in SML and there's some jokes which are a little too far in my opinion, I feel like Jeffy has been getting better at not being as controversial as he used to be. He might still not be everyone's favorite, or you might blame him for some things that happened in the past, but he still is one of the best things that happened to the channel, as Jeffy literally is one of the most popular characters and helped SML grow to such a huge size. And that, my friends, is most of the story of Jeffy. Let me know down in the comments if I missed anything more important, or if you want another timeline on another character. Thanks for watching, subscribe, and click on this video here.